Your Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis has endorsed her party's candidate. She watched the debate last night. We are talking to people representing all three campaigns this morning. Congresswoman Malliotakis, good morning.
Good morning. Great to be with you.
What were your initial thoughts as this debate wrapped up?
Well, first, hats off to Errol Louis. He actually moderated a fantastic debate, particularly compared to the first debate. I thought it was a very good debate. Why? Because I think Curtis Sliwa and Andrew Cuomo were able to show the inexperience of Zohran Mamdani. Zohran Mamdani, 34 years old. He's been a citizen for 7 years. He does not have the experience. He's never held a real job to manage the biggest city in the country, the economic engine of the country. And so not just that, but they've been able to expose how radical his policies are, because when comes to policing, he has been the leader to defund the police. He's backtracked from that. But the reality is he will drive the police out when we are 7,000 fewer cops than we were on September 11th, 2001. And he will not replace them. So it's the same thing. He wants to stop them from responding to domestic calls. He wants to abolish jails in our society. So they did a very good job. I think Curtis came out ahead here. But Andrew Cuomo had a much better debate than he had the first one. He was on his game last night, pointing out his what he has done in housing and infrastructure. But at the end of the day, I still think Curtis is the best candidate and if you really want to shake things up, if you really want somebody new coming in here, people talk about, the future leaders. Zohran's just going to do what has already been done and take it radically to the left. Okay, he wants to have government-run supermarkets. He wants to seize the means of production. Those are his words, and they are the playbook of communist Karl Marx. We cannot allow that in New York City.
So it was, to say the least, a difficult week for Curtis Sliwa because his former boss on his former radio station came at him and really suggested he should not be in the race. Did he manage to rise above that and just show up to debate, or was that an overhang in the room last night?
Look, I think he's running the best race that he can. He is doing much better than he did 4 years ago. I think he's run a very respectable campaign, bringing real ideas as somebody who understands the transit system, rides the subway, as he says, every day of his life. He has helped transition the homeless and mentally ill off our streets out of his heart, not because he was in elected office. And he understands the issues of facing real New Yorkers. I think he's actually the candidate, not Zohran, who represents real New Yorkers. He's real in touch with the people who are concerned, not just about public safety and the economy and affordability, but high taxes, those middle-class homeowners that Zohran says he wants to increase taxes on, which, by the way, if you're a renter, that cost is passed on to you. So that is really historically what has made this city unaffordable. It's the insatiable appetite to spend money at City Hall, where we have a budget that is the same as the entire state of Florida with 21 million people. The taxpayer is the one getting crushed, and that continues to be passed on. Whether if you're a business, it's passed on to the things that you're buying in the store. If it is you're a renter, it's being passed on to you by your landlord. So that's the reality. I think Curtis did a good job of explaining why he's the best candidate. Now, yes, I do hear from people in Staten Island and Brooklyn. They are concerned. They're concerned. They want to stop Zohran Mamdani. At the end of the day, they don't want a socialist, communist-leaning mayor. That's what they don't want. Now, the question is, who's the best candidate to stop them? And I say, look at the polls. Let's see what the poll is after this next debate. I think it'll be very telling on who is the actual candidate who can stop Zohran Mamdani.
Sliwa has walked a line where he certainly represents a lot of popular Republican opinions. He is not aligned with Donald Trump on every issue. Is that a liability in the Republican Party in 2025?
I don't think so. I think he has a lot of support within the Republican Party. Again, I have to look at what's going to happen in these next couple of days. I think this is critical. But I think there are some people that have called for him to drop out because they think that Governor Cuomo would have a better shot. But nobody has actually ever polled what a one-on-one race with Curtis Sliwa would look like. And so I think that he continues to be the person who's the popular candidate among middle class families, among people who don't want to flee New York, that they want public safety, they want affordability, they want these things, then they can't keep doing the same thing, which is allow for one party Democrat rule. Now, Zoran would actually take the city in a worse direction. Here's somebody who says he wants to buy private property and turn them into communes. That is ludicrous. And then he even went so far to say that he thought that abolishing private property was preferable to the current system. So he has very extreme views, and I think we have a city that is made up of so many immigrants who fled those very policies, including my mother who fled communist Cuba. We don't want to see those types of policies here, and I think you'll see a broad coalition of people who have fled, whether they're from Russia or China or Nicaragua or Venezuela or any other country where they had these socialist, communist type policies. They will reject him at the ballot box. I still have faith in New Yorkers.
Part of our series of interviews with the people representing the three candidates who were on stage last night. Congresswoman, thank you for being with us this morning.